Well, hello, everyone. Hello. This is Alexandra Levine live with the America's Pulse Network. We are all in tonight with me, Alexandra Levine. We have major breaking news. Our first slide. So at Real Donald Trump, he retruthed today. Sadly, the great influencer Scott Adams has passed away. He was a fantastic guy who liked and respected me when it wasn't fashionable to do so. He bravely fought a long battle against a terrible disease. My condolences go out to his family and all of his many friends and listeners. He will be truly missed. God bless you, Scott. As you know, Scott Adams was a very famous guy, and he was a comic. He wrote many comics, and we are so sad to see him go. He fought a long battle against a terminal cancer. And if you haven't been watching him on Substack, I have, and on Facebook, our hearts go out to him and our hearts go out to his family. And I just want to say for the record, this sweatshirt is brought to you by MK, stands for Michael Kors. As you know, I only wear the designers that our wonderful, beautiful First Lady Melania Trump wears, and Michael Kors is one of them. I love Michael Kors because he has a home in Sarasota, Florida, which is my native place. This is where I was born and raised. So I'm representing Michael Kors today. So MK stands for Michael Kors. American made, hire American, buy American. That's what I do. Do not buy stuff that's made in China, and only wear designers that the First Lady wears. Other breaking news tonight, currently, as I stand in Baltimore County in the Towson Courthouse, there is the Baltimore County Council monthly meeting. There are thousands of people testifying against the anti-ICE legislation that Baltimore County Councilman, who's running for Baltimore County Executive, a Jewish guy, Jewish Democrat, Itzi Patoka, has pushed through to his council. They only need 4 votes, and this horrible, horrific legislation will pass. And guess who is in the Baltimore County Council right now? CASA. CASA, as you know, is formed and funded by George Soros, by illegal criminals. It's an illegal criminal organization. And there's a lot of illegals in that town, in that courthouse in Towson right now as we speak. I can tell you, and I can fully report, and my sources tell me that ICE and DHS has been called, Thomas Homan as well as DHS Secretary Kristi Noem have been called to go down to the Towson University Courthouse, or the Towson Courthouse, to wrangle up any illegals that have an illegal criminal background. And I can tell you, there's a lot of them in there right now as we speak. Elected official Tim Fazenmaker is there live on the scene. He will be testifying later to combat this anti-ICE legislation, which is also part of his platform as he runs to be the next Baltimore County councilman. But this is major news, guys. I mean, you have a bunch of illegals at the Towson Courthouse. They have a Spanish interpreter, but they don't have an interpreter for the deaf. Interesting. Also, they failed to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance or sing the national anthem. What kind of county council is this? Are they American or not? I said to Tim earlier, I'm like, did you have to sing the Mexican national anthem or the Guatemala national anthem? What the hell is going on over there? There's also pro-Hamas people in there. There's anti-Jew Jews over there. Jewish traitors, we like to call them. Jews for justice, or justice for peace, which are anti-Jew Jews. Those are people that are sitting in and supporting this. Comparing ICE to modern day Gestapo, Itzi Patoka, whose parents were survivors of the Holocaust, has the audacity to compare ICE to modern day Gestapo. What he doesn't understand, or what he understands, but he likes to twist the narrative in the story, is that ICE actually protects his Jewish constituents, whereas Itzi Patoka doesn't want to protect his Jewish constituents. I advise his Jewish constituents not to vote for him for re-election, not to vote for him for Baltimore County Executive, to hashtag Jexit the Democrat Party, vote Republican, become a Republican, and just tell Itzy you're not a Jew. You're hashtag not a true Jew. You're hashtag not a real Jew. And that's the truth. And Itzy has to go all religious and bring up the fact his parents are Holocaust survivors. But what he doesn't understand is that his parents were legal citizens of the country and Nazis came in and made them illegal. What Itzy is doing is he's supporting illegal criminals and illegal aliens in America. They didn't come here based on merit. They didn't come here through a sponsorship. This is crazy, total crazy and asinine, and he's screwing up history, and everybody knows it. And I really hope that the people that are testifying today really listen to each other, but also listen to the people that support America and American citizens. And you will hear such a beautiful testimony from Tim Fazenmaker coming out later tonight. I want you guys all to hone in on it. And of course, they will be recording. They always record the county council. If you don't catch it tonight, we will replay it tomorrow in real time. But Tim Fazenmaker's speech is all about supporting America, supporting ICE, supporting law enforcement, making sure that crime is down. There's so much crime because of criminal illegal aliens. Tim was so instrumental in bringing Tammy Nobles, whose daughter was murdered by an illegal, and also working with Rachel Morin's mom. Rachel Morin was a beautiful woman, 35 years old, who had 5 children. She was brutally murdered and raped by an illegal criminal, and many, many others. Decorah is also a Dakara, who's a young woman, 19-year-old girl from Prince George's County, who was brutally murdered by an illegal, and Jocelyn, and the stories go on and on and on. And Itzy Patoka knows this. But what I know for a fact is Itzy Patoka did nothing to console the Morin family, as well as the Nobles family and the Dakara family. What Itzy Patoka is doing is dangerous. He's pushing a false narrative, and he's allowing people to come in that have signs saying Jews should say no to ICE. I mean, this is disgusting. He's Jewish. Again, anti-Jew, someone that doesn't love being Jewish, someone that goes through the holidays, goes through the motions, goes to synagogue, wears a kippah on their head, but supports terrorists on the other side. The fact that he is making illegals above the law is disgusting. And anyone that is running for Baltimore County Executive should really hone in on what he is doing. And anyone that is a constituent of Baltimore County should look into who's running for Baltimore County Executive, because it's really important who your Baltimore County Executive is. Regardless if you're a Democrat, Independent, or a Republican, you should not vote for Itzy Patoka. You should have nothing to do with him. He's disgusting, and he's giving Jewish people a bad name, including myself. I'm tired of apologizing for these capo Jews, these anti-Jew Jews, these Gestapo-loving Jews. That's what Itzy Patoka is. He's a Gestapo-loving Jew. And I'm so tired of it. As I say to the constituents of Baltimore County tonight, haven't you hashtag had enough? Call out the people of CASA. Call DHS. Call ICE. Get these illegals removed from Towson Courthouse tonight, as I have done and many others have done. They shouldn't be having a Spanish interpreter there. And they should be singing the national anthem, and they should be saying the Pledge of Allegiance. And I know when Tim Fazenmaker becomes the next Baltimore County councilman, he will make it his business to have the Pledge of Allegiance being recited, and myself will be singing the national anthem and God Bless America in front of everyone as his chief of staff. But please, guys, understand what's going on in your backyard. Turning into segment 1. Now, speaking of your backyard, we're having some issues again in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Actually, the entire state, St. Paul, the capital of Minnesota, is in ruins and falling. As our segment 1 calls it, the fall of Minnesota. But don't forget what this show is called. The show is called The Biggest Boos. And let me tell you something. Mayor Jacob Frey is a big boo. Big boo. And that's what I want you guys to call him now. I want you guys to call all these liberals and Democrats and socialists big boos, because that's what they are. Instead of cursing at them, you call them boos. Because they are boos, and they should be booed every single time they get on the stage. Remember, Jacob Mayer Fry, another anti-Jew Jew. As you saw him wearing a mask, bending down and taking a knee for George Floyd, a guy he didn't even know, and he was hysterically crying for a guy he didn't even know, for a drug dealer, a crack cocaine moron. He didn't die helping and saving world peace. He died a loser. He is a loser. The fact that everybody in Minneapolis honored him and Black Lives Matter was doing riots and as we saw, arsenals all over the place. As Governor Tim Walz and his wife were watching this, as Governor Tim Walz's stupid wife said while her husband was running for vice president of the United States, "Oh, I remember those riots in Minneapolis as I pushed the window down and I smelled the ashes and the burnings of the city. Oh, what a moron." Remember, she said we have to turn the page. Well, she and her husband will be turning the page when they end up in jail, especially her husband. But let's put up the first slide by Nick Sorter, reporter from the Daily Caller. Let's put him up. So Nick Sorter says, breaking, Mayor Jacob Frey, anti-Juju, calls the deluge of DHS agents into the city an invasion. No, the invasion is the hundreds of thousands of Somalis hauled into here, ripping off American taxpayers. That's the actual invasion. So as you see Mayor Frey, he's kowtowing to the Somalis, which control his life. Remember, that's what socialists do. They dangle a lot of money in front of you. They dangle a carrot of money, and people are stupid and they take the bait. And once you take the bait, guess what? They own you for life. That's a true story. It's true facts. But Mayor Jacob Frey, he's just doing this for likes and clicks. Does he really care about the Somali people? No, he just cares about their money. But what he doesn't understand, because he's stupid, he's an idiot, is that the more that he's involved in the Somalis, the more that he's involved in their fraud and everything that they're doing, his ass is going to end up in jail, and his ass should end up in jail. He's an idiot. The fact that he says, F ICE, get ICE out of Minneapolis, get him out of my city, and he doesn't care about it. He's like, I don't care. I know I said bad language, but this is how I feel, and this is how everybody else feels. No, he's wrong. The majority of the American people do not feel this way. The majority of the American people look at him like he's a moron because he is one. And the majority of the American people have hashtag had enough, and they want ICE to come in there and clean up the city. But the fact that ICE has to clean up the city shows what a terrible mayor this idiot is. But then we find out that his wife has connections to the Somalis. Of course, pay to play. So now more investigations need to go into his wife and his wife's background. And guess what? His wife and him should end up in a beautiful jail cell. Not together, of course, separated, but they should end up in a beautiful jail cell. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. I mean, this is a whole monopoly going. And this is a huge case in Minnesota. We got fraud all over the place with the Nation of Islam by Keith Ellison. Ilhan Omar's involved. And we got Jacob Frey and Tim Walz and any of these people. And as you know, Tim Walz announced he's not running for re-election of governor because he's got this lingering over his head, because he knows that he is the sole proprietor of all of this. And Pete Hegseth called him out on this, and Pam Bondi called him out on this, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio called him out on this. I mean, this is really important stuff, guys. And I know what people are saying, well, it's just going to go away. It's just going to go away. Let me tell you something. There's Medicare fraud cases all over the place. Pam Bondi is cracking down on all of these Medicare fraud cases. She wants to clear the desk of this. She wants to get this off her desk and put anybody in jail that's responsible for Medicare fraud. I know this for a fact. Pam Bondi was my former Florida Attorney General. I know how strong she is on these things. I know why President Trump put her in as the U.S. Attorney General. So we have to have faith. We also have to have faith in Thomas Homan and Kristi Noem and everyone and Mr. Wolf, who heads ICE, and anyone who is a part of this, who is doing everything they can to arrest these fraudsters. And Kash Patel is involved too, with John Radcliffe and Tulsi Gabbard. They're all interconnected here, helping out. So we have to have faith. But this is a huge thing. And again, the more evidence that is piled on, it points directly to the evils. The boos, which is Tim Walz, which is Jacob Frey, and many others. These are big boos. But you guys have to understand. You have to understand how this system works. And you have to understand that these people do not have your best interest at heart. So people like Jacob Frey, he can cry all he wants and take a knee to George Floyd. But we know at the end of the day, he's a POS. Let's go to the second slide with Eric Daughtry. So Eric Daughtry writes, just in, mayor of St. Paul, Minnesota, We know this moron who admitted, she's another boo, who admitted to previously being an illegal alien, announces she has joined the lawsuit to ban DHS from sending any more federal agents. Quote, they're racially profiling. The mayor has admitted, I'm an illegal in this country. My parents are illegal here in this country. Foreigners are taking office and rebelling. That's why we have to make sure that foreigners don't take office. We have a foreigner who's the new mayor of New York City, Zohran Mandami, that idiot from Uganda. Ilhan Omar, a foreigner. That she almost had a foreigner Somali who was going to be a mayor of Minnesota. I mean, we have to be very careful who gets into our government. And this is 100% correct. She's an illegal alien. She admitted she came here illegally. Her parents came in here illegally. And of course she wants to ban DHS and ban ICE because she's concerned that she's next to be deported, that she's next to go on the chopping block. Deport her ass. That's what I say. And I think a lot of people admit or agree with the same stuff that I say. Deport her stupid ass. Deport her ass. Get her out of here. Get her parents out of here. Because it just shows that she is a boo and that she is a lying sack of crap and she shouldn't have been elected. These foreigners should not be getting elected. Get these foreigners out of here. I believe that their citizenship, quote, citizenship it's not even legit. We have to admit this, guys. You can't just turn a blind eye. And again, DHS and ICE is doing everything they can to combat this. This is what they do. We have to agree upon this, that the more that we call these illegals out, the more we got to get rid of them. That's why I'm calling out all the illegals that are in the Towson courthouse today with the Baltimore County Council. There's too many of them. They're flooded. It's standing room now. And Tim was like, where do all these damn illegals come from? They've been there for a long time. You can thank Larry Hogan for that. You can thank Wes Moore for that. You can thank anybody in higher power, Attorney General Anthony Brown, the comptroller, Brooke Learman. You can thank all those idiots, all those boos for putting illegals in your state, in your city, in your district. Get them out. Next slide, Donald Trump. So our president wrote on Truth Social, and this has a lot to do with what's going on overseas. He said, effective immediately, any country doing business with the Islamic Republic of Iran will pay a tariff of 25% on any and all business being done with the United States of America. This order is final and conclusive. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So he's right. Anybody that is doing dealings with Islamic Republic of Iran, and if you don't think the Somalis are involved in this, they are. Terrorist regimes are involved with working with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Now, the heads of Iran, those guys, according to sources, they're not the bad guys. And the people of Iran, they want justice. It's the people that are running. It's the evils, the Ayatollah Khomeini, that run the Islamic regime and cause havoc with Iran. These are the people that were in charge of October 7th, just like the horrendous people that are part of Qatar were part of October 7th as well. Anyone that works with an Islamic regime is a terrorist themselves. They should go to jail. And yeah, they should pay heavy. They should pay heavy. Unfortunately, there's Islamic terror regimes in all of these Middle Eastern countries, and they should all go to hell, and they should all be dismantled. I mean, that's the truth. We've been talking about this for over 2 years now. It's very true. But these Somalis are no good. And they work hand in hand with these Islamic regimes. They work hand in hand with Iran. They work hand in hand with Al-Aqsa Mahdi Brigade and the Taliban and Islamic Jihad. They're all in bed together. You have to, as they say, follow the money. They're all interconnected, And President Trump said, if Iran tries to crap with Israel, guess what? He's going to give Israel the green light to go in there and take them out. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone's like, oh, that's not America first. Are you kidding me? We must support our biggest ally, Israel. We'll get into that in segment 2. But it's very, very important, guys, that we call out the evils, the boos that are part of these frauds, Medicare fraud, bank fraud, tax evasion, etc., racketeering. These are all illegal activities, and enough is enough. And I wholeheartedly believe the Trump administration is not allowing these idiots to get away with it. Let's put up the next slide where it says breaking. And this is even more important. Breaking. Authorities have reportedly uncovered hundreds of millions in cash-filled suitcases at a Minnesota airport tied to a massive fraud ring funneling money to the Middle East. Remember what I just said? Islamic Republic of Iran? It's all interconnected. Hundreds of millions in cash-filled suitcases at a Minnesota airport? Are Somalis bringing it in? Nation of Islam run by Louis Farrakhan? They're all interconnected, guys. Again, follow the money. This is very important. Massive fraud rings, massive fraud all over this nation. Call it out. Do something about it. Contact the Attorney General. Contact the Secretary of State, Pete Hegseth, whoever you have to. DHS, ICE. There's fraud everywhere and illegals everywhere. And you can blame Joe Biden and Obama for this. They started this crap. They brought him in as acts of love. No, they brought him in to destroy our country. And what Trump is trying to do is he's trying to bring back our country and help Americans and keep Americans safe. And we should all support President Trump for that. Before the break, don't forget our affiliate sponsor, rncstore.com/ALL. That's the Richard Nutritional Center. Let's put that up. There we go. rncstore.com/ALL. You have to use the code ALL to get a 10% off discount. If you do not use that code, guess what? You don't get a discount. And we'll put up the QR code for that as well. But it is rncstore.com/ALL, rncstore.com/ALL. Type in ALL. You get a 10% off discount. I can tell you I've lost a tremendous amount of weight. My energy is better. My immune system's better. And, you know, I feel so great. And we are in a very high flu season right now. Everyone's getting sick. My father's getting sick. I had a stomach bug. Like, everybody has something going on right now. So please, guys, it's very important that we take care of ourselves, that we take care of our immunity, that we build up our immunity, and that we do everything we can to build up our immune system and reduce cancer, of course. So rncstore.com/ALL, that's the QR code. Type in ALL, you get the 10% off discount code. And don't forget to put in that discount code ALL, stands for Alexandra Levine Live. Well, we will be right back, guys, after the break. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Levine. I'm a professional opera singer, actress, TV, and radio personality. Since 2015, I've been a volunteer, a field director, and a campaign manager, learning the ins and outs of the political world. That's why I became a political consultant. My job is to lead you to victory with organization, structure, and the mindset of winning for your district or state. With my guidance and direction, I can keep you focused on the things that matter to the people and advise you on key issues that need to be addressed. If you're a serious candidate that is serious about winning, then book a consultation with me today. Go to levineconsulting.co. You'll be happy you did.
Well, hello, everyone. We're back. This is Alexandra Levine Live with the America's Pulse Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us at America's Pulse Network on Rumble, YouTube, TikTok, Truth Social, Facebook now, Instagram, and Parler. So we're on like 7 or 8 platforms right now, but you can always like and subscribe. And please, guys, please comment throughout the show. I want to thank my loyalty commentators who continue to comment. I know there's a lot of people that do watch my show live that do not comment. That's okay. But thank you again to Donald Willinger, Jorge Finkelman, and many others who constantly comment on my show. I really appreciate it. Don Willinger, before the break, he wrote, are you suggesting we might not have to pay taxes if we stop corruption? That's a really good question. I mean, President Trump is doing everything he can to make sure that our taxes are lowered. As you know, certain governors, like my governor, Ron DeSantis in Florida, is doing everything he can to remove property taxes. I know Vivek up in Ohio, who's running for governor of Ohio, he wants to be like the next DeSantis. He wants to be the first state to remove property taxes. So we'll see how that goes. It just really depends on, who your governor is, where you live, and what is the priority to lawmakers and people in power. But segment 2 starts with America First and America Committed. So as you know, combating anti-Semitism is something that is my passion. Unfortunately, the anti-Semitism is still high on the rise. And what Tim told me today at the Baltimore County Council meeting, tonight, what's going on in real time, is that there's anti-Jew Jews there. There's Jews for Justice, which is an anti-Jew group, anti-Semitic group. They believe in boycott, divest, and sanction. They believe that Israel's an apartheid state. And also they believe that Jewish people should say no to ICE. We also have a county councilman, Julian Jones, who's running for county executive, who stood next to a woman who had a sign saying, "If you support ICE, your mother is a hoe." So is that the type of person that you want in leadership? Is that the type of people you want in leadership? And Jews for Justice is supported and funded by George Soros. So is Jews United for Peace. And all these anti-Semitic groups care. I mean, they're huge. And anytime you see the Muslim Brotherhood, I mean, they're all heavily involved with each other. And President Trump is doing everything he can to combat the anti-Semitism. He actually said in an interview on Air Force One that anyone who supports Jew hating should be completely disbarred, dismissed, should be considered irrelevant. He said if people don't combat anti-Semitism, that's a real issue for him. As you know, he has a Jewish child, Ivanka Trump, who converted to Judaism, a Jewish son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and 3 Jewish grandchildren. So he keeps that really in his heart. And he has a lot of Jewish people that work under him, that work in the cabinet, and he has Jewish friends. And he had a lot of people that are Jewish that worked for him in the first term. So he keeps the Jewish people very strong. Bibi Netanyahu is one of his closest friends and allies. Again, Israel is an ally to the United States, whether you like it or not. There's nothing wrong with supporting Israel. There's nothing wrong with supporting your biggest ally. That doesn't mean you're against America. We as Americans, we have to support our ally. We work with them. They work with us. We work with them in central intelligence and environment and agriculture and technology. This is something that's been going on since 1948, guys. Like, get with the program. And people know this, but it's idiots like Marjorie Taylor Greene and other idiots like Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly. They all know this crap, and Candace Owens, but they continue to spew out anti-Semitic hate, and they continue to be bullies and boos to the Jewish people. And I don't know, I don't know about you guys, but I've hashtag had enough. I've talked to a lot of non-Jews about this. And I talked to non-Jews tonight in Baltimore County. And they're very upset to see the Jewish traders that are at the Baltimore County Councilman meeting tonight. So let's put up the first slide. So the first slide really upset me. A Black anti-Semitic woman attacked an Orthodox Jewish family in Brooklyn during Shabbat of all holidays, yelled, "I'm going to kill all the Jews," before punching him in the face. She was arrested and let loose under supervised release. So this woman threatened to kill all the Jews. But instead of her being in jail for the rest of her life, it's New York after all. They have a horrible, horrible governor, anti-Semitic asshole, Catherine Hochul. And now they have an anti-Semitic mayor of New York City, is allowing this type of rhetoric and behavior. Remember, this is not freedom of speech. This is hate speech. This is the same rhetoric that we heard on college campuses under the Biden administration. And it's the same rhetoric that we will continue to hear from these people if they're allowed to continue without any repercussions, without any consequences. You don't allow someone to say, "I'm going to kill all the Jews," and then put them in jail for half a day or an hour and then let them loose or give them probation. Imagine if someone said, "Kill all Christians, kill all Asians, kill all Blacks." You think that person would be released right away? I highly doubt it. We have to come to terms, people, that anti-Semitism is a big thing. And anti-Semitism doesn't just affect Jewish people. It affects Christians as well. Because when they come after Jews, they come after Christians next. We've all seen this. But this also is because of BLM. This is because of Islamic terrorism. This is because of illegal criminals and illegal terrorists that have entered our country under the Biden and Obama administration that have allowed this to happen. So we have to do our part and do our due diligence to make sure that this doesn't happen again. As we say in Israel, never again means never again, and never again means now. But Shabbat is a holy day for Jewish people. I celebrate Shabbat. I don't work on Shabbat. I walk to shul. I love Shabbat. I love who I am on Shabbat. I love seeing the rabbi and going to services and hearing his sermons. They're very uplifting. And then we have a nice owning, or what we call a nice luncheon afterwards, where we all can talk about whatever. Shabbat is the Jewish people's day of rest, just like church, Sunday, That's Christians' day of rest. And Shabbat has been for centuries, for thousands and thousands of years. It's every Friday night to Saturday night. It's sundown to sundown. All we ask is that you respect our holidays as we respect yours. And Shabbat is a weekly thing. It's especially even more important for the Orthodox community. The Orthodox community, they walk in snow, sleet, ice, rain to go to shul. They have multiple children. They want to see their children go to shul. They want to celebrate and have what we call Havdalah service, which is the end of Shabbat. They don't want to have to worry that they walk to shul and they're going to get hurt, or someone's going to say, kill all the Jews. This is why ice is so important. This is why nobody should hold up a sign saying Jews should say no to ice. It's a very dangerous sign to write. It's a very dangerous person who's holding up that sign, and any young person who reads that sign will be influenced poorly. Again, we got to call these morons out. Again, it's very important that we respect each other, that we love one another, we don't hurt each other. This is America, guys. This is not a third world country. So let's stop making America a third world country. Let's go to the next slide with Ambassador Mike Huckabee from Israel. So he wrote, this is about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson saying the massacre, mutilation, and rape of women in front of their families is, quote, political. It's like saying the ovens of Auschwitz were only used to keep Jews warm. What he says is not just wrong or ignorant, it's demonic. And I agree with the ambassador here. Tucker Carlson is bought and paid for by the Qatari government. His rhetoric is very, very dangerous. And when he says stuff like this, when he says that it was political for mutilation and rape of women to happen in front of their families, it's disgusting. It wasn't political. Hamas didn't care about anybody's feelings on October 7th. There was no mercy. The religion of Islam actually talks about mercy, how they're supposed to have mercy for women and children, but Hamas doesn't. Hamas doesn't have religion. They're a terrorist organization. All terrorist organizations do not have religion, and they don't give a crap about you. If you're not them, they'll choose to fight you. They'll choose to hurt you, no matter what the cost. That's why it's very important that we call out idiots like Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, all those morons that think it's okay. They think it's okay to talk crap about Jews. It's okay to hurt Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, even though they are supposedly their colleagues and friends. And Kelly says, I'm not Ben's friend anymore. Oh, and if it wasn't for me, nobody would have known who Ben Shapiro is. I was the first person to put him on my show, the Megyn Kelly show, on prime time on Fox, which was a lie. I saw Ben Shapiro on the O'Reilly Factor. Ben Shapiro was a big name before Megyn Kelly came to Fox. Ben Shapiro was already writing books. Ben Shapiro was at his first year at Harvard Law School. Ben Shapiro was known through Alan Dershowitz and Charles Limbaugh, or excuse me, not Charles Limbaugh, David Limbaugh, which is Rush Limbaugh's brother, and Ann Coulter, and Laura Ingraham, and Larry King. When Ben Shapiro was 11 years old, he played his violin in front of Larry King and many big names. I know, I saw the videos. I know his email. I met Ben Shapiro at his first year at Harvard Law. He was a big name. Megyn Kelly didn't make him. Ben Shapiro made himself. And Ben Shapiro made a big name of himself when he decided to leave Breitbart and go to the Daily Wire. Kudos to Ben Shapiro. Kudos to him for making a name for himself, for not allowing these anti-Semites to hurt him or put him down or hurt his platform. Now, in my opinion, he let Candace Owens stay on his platform way too long. It wasn't until donors and everyone were like, Ben, you can't have this anti-Semite on your network anymore, that he finally said goodbye. But I say kudos to him for removing Nick Fuentes from Right Side Broadcasting Network and other places where Nick Fuentes was spewing out anti-Semitic rhetoric, and idiots like a Nick Fuentes continues to spew anti-Semitic rhetoric. Nick Fuentes hates everybody. He hates Jews. He hates blacks. He hates everybody. He hates women. He's gay. He won't admit he's gay, but I know he's gay. No woman would ever touch him because he's gay and he's disgusting. He hates women. Thinks women are nasty. He doesn't like the femininity of a woman. That's why he's gay. He sounds like a woman himself. But again, we have to call out these idiots. that continue to spew anti-Semitic rhetoric, because if we allow them to continue to have a voice, they get millions and millions of followers and they come after people. They come after people, good people. They come after people like Donald Trump. We have to make people aware that this is a problem and that this is a crisis. And it's true, Jewish people aren't perfect. I agree with Donald Rollinger on that. But I know that prayer has been a big part of my life. I know that because I have religion in my life, because I love being Jewish, because I want to practice my religion, because I want to make sure that my family continues the tradition. I know that God is with me. I know that Hashem is always by my side, because the way I honored my father, continue to honor my father, and the way that I honored my grandfather, my grandparents, and the way that certain people in my life have honored their parents, they're good people. And we'll end up with Hashem. We'll stand right next to him in the kingdom of heaven. I have no worries. But I worry for the people that don't have religion in their life and that listen to idiots like Tucker Carlson and Matt Gaetz and Megyn Kelly and all those morons and Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. Turn them off. Turn them off and listen to us. Turn them off and listen to people that are smart, that know the truth, and that won't lie to you. And let's go to the last slide. I know we have another slide. There we go. So this one's kind of funny. So it says Marco Rubio finding it has to be chairman of the Federal Reserve. So Marco Rubio is like a man who's in like dipping himself in 50 million hats. It's not his fault. So he was like the interim NSA director, interim chairman of the Federal Reserve, interim head of Greenland, interim president of Venezuela. I mean, there's like all these memes going out that he's the head of everything. It's funny because it's funny, but it's good in a sense because it shows what a great job Secretary of State Marco Rubio is doing. He's doing a much better job than a lot of people thought he was doing. And I'm just going to put it out there now. And it's my opinion. It's my opinion. I know people are saying, oh, J.D. Vance is going to be the next president of the United States. I don't believe that. I've never believed that. I believe that J.D. Vance was put in there because the Trump boys wanted him and because they needed someone who was an America First guy, who was in the Senate, and they needed someone who was maybe a little bit younger generation, someone who was able to lean into, quote unquote, the rednecks, the hillbillies, because he was a hillbilly himself. His mother was a former alcoholic. Also, he was very good with families of single mothers and mothers that were abandoned and abused, or sisters and daughters that were abandoned and abused. He had something that President Trump, needed to win a certain group of women and a certain category. But I never, ever, 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 and I still feel this way today, ever felt that J.D. Vance is going to be the next president of the United States. I know that's where people are going. But you look at Marco Rubio. You look at where he stands on things. You want a president who supports Israel. You want a president who supports the tariffs. You want a president that literally is doing everything that President Trump asked of him and then some. And not to knock J.D. Vance. He is doing a great job as vice president, but he needs to do a lot more because he is the head of the Senate and he is allowing these Senate Republicans to just do whatever they want. These Senate rhinos. He didn't push to make sure that Senator John Thune wasn't the Senate Majority Leader. And his job right now is to try to expand the House of Representatives with Speaker Johnson. If legislation does not get pushed through in the Senate and proper laws don't get passed and President Trump's executive orders don't get codified, that's on J.D. Vance. Again, he's the head of the Senate. More things need to come out of J.D. Vance. I don't like the way that he handles the people at Turning Point. I don't like the way that he handled Turning Point AmFest. He was trying to be a kumbaya type of guy, but he called out the wrong people. I don't like the fact that he has Tucker Carlson's son working with him. I don't like the fact that he calls Tucker Carlson his friend. I don't like the fact that Tucker Carlson was in the Oval Office, or not in the Oval Office, in the White House with President Trump the other day. And President Trump's so smart. He didn't acknowledge him. He didn't give him anything. Didn't say hi, nothing. And a lot of my Jewish constituents and Jewish friends that love President Trump, they're not fans of J.D. Vance. They don't want J.D. Vance as president. And I know people are like, oh, well, Marco Rubio's a Rimo. He was a part of the Gang of Eight. He believes in amnesty for illegals, which he doesn't. But he's seasoned, he's smart, and he can do almost anything. And he's doing a phenomenal job. Honestly, I would rather have him as president. And that's the truth, and that's my opinion. A lot of people said Marco Rubio, DeSantis ticket. People have mentioned that too. My governor, Ron, can have a chance to redeem himself here. I don't think he's going away when he leaves the governorship next year. He's not just going to go away quietly. He'll be running for something. Yeah, Don Willinger agrees with me. He likes Marco Rubio and would vote for him to be president. Doesn't like JD. I'm not a fan of JD. I'm not a fan. And I'll be honest with you, I actually worked for his opponent in the primary when he ran for Senate, Josh Mandel. Josh Mandel's a Jewish guy, nice guy. He got totally screwed over by his ex-wife, had a horrible divorce, lost a lot of money. But the Mandel name is so big in Ohio. And Josh Mandel has been a strong, strong Trump supporter from the beginning. Remember, J.D. Vance was not. Yeah, my friend Jorge Finkelman, he prefers Marco Rubio too. A lot of people do. A lot of my Jewish friends do. And I prefer him too. And if people are mad at me because of that, well, again, it's my opinion. But I am a political consultant. I am a White House correspondent. My opinion does matter. And facts do matter too. But people do listen to what I have to say. And I've been in this business for a long time and I see a lot of things. And some people are put in places for certain reasons. They're installed and then they're uninstalled. But I do not see J.D. Vance becoming the next president of the United States. I don't see it. A lot of people don't want it. A lot of people want Trump's kids to be president, like Eric Trump and Don Jr. and Barron Trump in 2044. I would love Barron Trump to be president. Oh my God, that'd be ultimate. I predict that. I predict that Barron Trump will be president in 2044. I really do. I really do. Because that kid has been through hell, and this would be the ultimate revenge. But he wouldn't do it for revenge because he's a humble person. He would do it because he loves this country. And for people who don't know, Barron Trump gives a lot of his money to charities, to kids with cancer, to children, to young children. That kid is not spoiled at all. And people are like, oh, he's not spoiled. And Melania Trump protects him. Well, yeah, she protects him. It's her son. It's her only son. But Barron Trump does a lot behind the scenes that people don't know. The guy is like 6'9". I would love that as a president. He's so poised and so wonderful. And he's such a sweet young man. And he's accomplished a lot in his young life so far. I would love to see him as president. I think it would be great. But we are going into the election cycle. Again, it's too early to predict. I know Marco Rubio said, he would support J.D. Vance, but that's all, it's all talk. And Elon Musk, of course, is backing J.D. Vance for 2028, and I'm skeptical about that too. Elon Musk, as we know, turns on people. He likes you one day, hates you the next. Or maybe he never really hated Donald Trump. Maybe that whole thing was a distraction. But still, to push so hard, I'm very skeptical about that. Very skeptical. But just think about Marco Rubio, guys, because he's kicking ass and doing a really great job. And before we go to break, don't forget we have our second affiliate sponsor, FoliumPX.com. That's FoliumPX.com. Toxic heavy metals, full body detox. These supplements, I have taken them, super antioxidants. They help your skin. My hair has grown so much. Oh my God. And I feel, I feel so much better. Like my hair just feels better. Like everything just feels better. And also like, my face feels better. Like my skin is not as dry. And when I went through my stomach bug, I took these antioxidants and oh my God, I felt so much better. So please guys, FoliumPX.com. Please go to FoliumPX.com. That is the QR code right there. You do get a little bit of discount if you use that QR code. It's a great, great supplement, and you feel really good afterwards. It helps with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, heart attacks, strokes, cancer. stress. It takes care of everything. It's like one pill that does everything. So please, guys, go to fullympx.com and get your super antioxidant today. And we'll be right back after the break.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
Well, hello, everyone. We are back. This is Alexandra Levine live with the America's Pulse Network. You are all in with me tonight, Alexandra Levine. And segment 3 starts with Hollywood and the Golden Globes. Now, I don't really watch this crap anymore. I used to. Sometimes I just watch it for the fashion and the fashion tips and what everybody wore. They said J.Lo had like a stunner dress on, and Jennifer Lawrence, she wore like this flower see-through dress and barely anything there. I mean, these women don't wear bras or underwear to the awards. There was a African-American woman named Tatiana who won, I think, Best Supporting Actress in a role, which I didn't see. I don't really watch the Hollywood movies anymore unless it's written by like unwoke people, or I go to the movies if like a friend pays for it, because I won't give my money to Hollywood. No, thank you. But the girl Tatiana, I mean, she did not wear a bra at all, and she wore like no underwear, and she wore like a little, what was it, like a glamour, like a sequence diamond bow around her buttocks. So she's like, wait, guys, I got something to show you. So, you know, it's her little, like, I don't know, back snatch or whatever that phrase is. I don't even know what it's called. But anyway, when I think of Hollywood and glam, I don't think of the liberals and the lunatics that are in Hollywood and the pedophiles. I think of people like Donald Trump, Melania Trump, who've been in Hollywood for years, who've done movies, who've produced movies, and who actually want to take a beautiful center or an opera house and make it look better. So let's go to the first slide. Nope. That was segment 2. The Kennedy Center. Okay, we're just rearranging slides right now. There we go. So the Kennedy Center will host the January 29 premiere of Melania, the eponymous documentary focused on First Lady Melania Trump. Amazon reportedly paid $40 million for the documentary and its follow-up docu-series. So my question to my audience is, are you going to go out and watch Melania? Are you going to see the premiere? And I am hoping to be at that premiere. That is going to be an amazing premiere. And January 29th is the day where the Kennedy Center will host it. I know that that documentary is being shown nationwide and worldwide. It is the day in the life of the First Lady from entering the second inauguration. So it talks about what Melania Trump did right up into the point of the president winning his second reelection and then to the inauguration. So it's really nice to see the day in life of her. Jackie O used to do things like this. She used to do little documentaries, used to show the White House, and she used to tell everyone and give updates of the White House, what's going on. And it's so nice to see a different type of White House. As you can tell, or as you can notice, that Melania Trump is dressing a little bit differently this time. She's all business. She wears a lot of business suits, a lot of Michael Kors, a lot of Salvatore Ferragamo, a lot of Balenciaga, a lot of very high-end designers, Swarovski, that want to dress her. I mean, it's such an honor to dress the First Lady. And these damn liberal covers like Vogue and Teen Vogue and all these, and Vanity Fair, all these cover spreads that don't even want to put her on the cover because her husband's a Republican and he's the president of the United States. I mean, they're missing out. I mean, they're really missing out. And guess what? Their publications are going down the tank and going down the tube. So that's why I continue to wear designers that the First Lady wears. Like I said, Michael Kors tonight. And I wear Swarovski all the time. This is Swarovski. This is what the First Lady wears, Swarovski crystals and Swarovski diamonds. That's what I wear. And she wears Harry Winston's. She wears Fendi, Chanel, Carolina Herrera, all these like very famous designers. I encourage everyone, if you love the First Lady as much as I do and love her fashion, to wear the designers, wear them. And you can do like the look for less. A lot of people can't afford a $27,000 jacket or a $50,000 jacket, but you can literally do the look for less and you'll be better for it. You'll feel better for it. And if you want to wear Manolo Blahniks, I wear them. They're very difficult to wear, but you can put like insoles so they don't kill your feet. But Manolo Blahnik shoes are beautiful. And she wears Bagley Mishka, and I wear Bagley Mishka. And she wears all at Versace and all these high-end designers that I wear too. So please, guys, that is the fashion guru to look for. Melania Trump and Donald Trump. Those are the Hollywood glitz and glam. Not freaking Nikki Glaser, who's a stupid comedian who talked about canceling CBS because of their coverage of Trump promoting ICE and supporting ICE and all this crap. I mean, that the whole award show is just a crap show. And you have stupid actors and actresses that I've never even heard of. And then you have idiots like George Clooney and Julia Roberts and Amal Clooney. I mean, these are idiots. Who wants to watch them? Who wants to support this crap? Like I said, I don't watch the Golden Globes. If anything, I just watch to see what they're wearing. I mean, I don't even watch that. I just pick up the highlights. But I don't even know what movies are out. I don't even care. I don't go to see these movies. I don't pay for these woke movies. Again, if my friends invite me to go, like I'll be like, yeah, but it's on your dime. I'll pay for the popcorn because the popcorn's not liberal. The movie theater itself is not liberal, not owned by liberals, but the movies are. So go if you want to go to the movies, pay for the popcorn, but don't pay for the ticket. Don't give these idiots any of your money. Seriously, they have enough. And let's go to the second slide. Oh, that was the first slide. No, there was another one about out real Donald Trump. That was in segment 2. Unless that's the only slide. We did a review of the slides. Could be my fault. Sorry. But I know there was another at real Donald Trump. Oh, okay, my producer doesn't have it. Okay, well, if he doesn't have it, I can't say it. But it was in reference to, what's going on in Hollywood today. And it was a very, very good slide. But anyway, the point is that you, the audience, have to decide. You have to decide, what you want, what you think looks good, what you think looks bad. And it's true. A lot of more men, they like a woman that dresses conservative. When you're looking for a man or a woman, you don't want a person that dresses like crap. You don't want somebody that shows all their bare skin, because you have to think to yourself, am I going to introduce that person to my mother or father? And if you date a woman and she's wearing major cleavage and her midriff is showing and she's wearing no bra, no underwear, I don't think that's the type of woman that your mother wants you to marry or hang out with. I mean, if I had a son and he brought a woman home like that, I'd be like, my God, like, what? What is this? Cover her up, put some clothes on this woman, or I'd give her a coat. I mean, that's not respectable. You have to dress respectfully. And these damn actors and actresses, they feel they can wear whatever they want because they're in Hollywood and they have all this money and people look up to them and yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, it's trash. Yeah, it's true. Donald said, I wouldn't be caught with a woman who's not dressed conservatively. Yeah. That's why conservative women are the most beautiful women in the country, because we dress conservatively and we keep the men enticed because they want to know, what are we wearing underneath? What do we look like underneath? That's why we all get married, because we don't show off our skin. We don't dye our hair 50 million colors. We don't shave our head. Now there's a new trend that, these liberal white women are now shaving their heads in honor of Renee Good. Well, Renee Good wasn't so good because she died. And her wife is actually the big reason why she died. Her wife told her, go, run him over, go. I mean, these are clips of the video that they don't show. And Renee Good's wife hasn't handed over her phone because she filmed everything. Maybe she's afraid she doesn't have a case. Maybe she's afraid that she'll be found a culprit, even though we all know she was the culprit, the main culprit. So guys, this is really important. As we go into this year, think about what you care about. Think about who you support. Think about if you want a man, if you want a wuss in office. Think about your values. You want to vote for someone that has your values. You want to date someone that has your values. You want to marry someone that has your values. You want to have children with someone that has the same values as you. It's very important. Speaking of someone with good values, as we talked about earlier, my good friend Tim Fazenbaker, he actually wrote this quote in some articles and interviews that he had this week. Let's pull that up. So he wrote, "Do not be a traitor to your people. Real men lead. Sissies placate, no more illegal aliens." As I said, as we are speaking in real time, Mr. Fazenbaker is at the Baltimore County Council meeting at the Towson Courthouse. He will be testifying to combat the anti-ICE legislation, these two legislative bills that this Democrat, Itzi Patoka, who's running for Baltimore County Executive, is trying to push. The vote will be January 27th. They only need 4 votes for it to pass. I hope to God it doesn't pass, because it will ruin Baltimore County forever. But it will set up the stage for who shall be the next Baltimore County Executive. But please, guys, don't forget Tim Fazenbaker is running for Baltimore County Council in the newest district, which is All America First. It's the most MAGA district, Trump district. And he will be having a major event at the Bayside Grill this Saturday, January 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. Tickets are $25. Sponsorships are $100 up. Students are also $25. Please, guys, come. It's going to be jam-packed. He's getting hundreds of people that are coming. People are donating left and right. And please come and see Tim Fazenbaker if you've never met him in Dundalk, Maryland. He will be featuring syndicated national news Max anchor commentator Rob Carson, who is renowned. Rob Carson is on Monday through Friday from 12 to 3 p.m. Awesome guy, great radio voice, and he is hardcore Trump, and you don't want to miss it. So please, guys, this Saturday, January 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. in Dundalk, Maryland. If you do not live in the Baltimore County area, donate. If you don't live in Maryland, donate. I'm from Florida. I donated. I have, friends in Ohio. I donated. I mean, yeah. There's going to be a lot of people there. Yeah, there'll be hundreds of people there. Unfortunately, they can't fit thousands at that restaurant, but there will be hundreds. And, it's just a restaurant. It's not like an amphitheater where we can fit thousands of people. But thousands of people have come out to see Tim. Tim has performed in front of thousands in his lifetime. Tim was a former musician. But Tim is great. Please go to timfazenbaker.com. That's timfazenbaker.com. Make a donation today. Regardless if you're coming to the event or not, make a donation. As you know, these candidates, they need donations, and Tim is the one that is going to win this. Democrats have come up to him and said he's going to win. Rhinos have come up to him and said he's going to win. His opponent, I don't even want to say his name because he's irrelevant. His opponent is a no-name, nothing who supports Pete Buttigieg for president. His opponent is a former Democrat, even though he says he's a lifelong Republican. He's a Democrat. He votes like a Democrat. He thinks like a Democrat. He does not support what the people of Dundalk support. Tim Fazenbaker loves his community. Tim Fazenbaker has been all over Dundalk, all over Maryland, doing interviews left and right. The people know him. He's got a name. He's the elected official. He's the incumbent. So please, guys, vote for Tim Fazenbaker and go to timfazenbaker.com. And don't forget my good friend, Kimberly Stansberry, who is running for Baltimore County Executive, the only woman Republican. If she wins, it will be history. She will be the first woman elected Republican Baltimore County Executive. She will be speaking at Tim's event on Saturday. She has been all over the place. She has been at meetings for Baltimore. This woman loves her county. She knows her county like no other. Please go to electkimstansberry.org. Make a donation today. She's getting donations in the hundreds, thousands. You got to donate to her. She is the person you want to have as your county executive. There's actually Democrats that are #Jegsing the party. They're going to be voting Republican in the primary. They're going to be voting for Kim. They want her in the primary, and then they're going to vote for her in the general. She's got Democrats that want her in the general. So please, guys, go to electkimstansberry.org, electkimstansberry.org. And of course, don't forget our good friend, Seth Eisenberg of the Conservative Corner. He has a GoFundMe out. Help Jonah Eisenberg overcome health crisis. He needs you more than ever. We've raised over $6,400 for him in a very short period of time. The ultimate goal, or the goal is 10,000. The ultimate goal is 100,000. But we need to get this goal. People raise $1.5 million for Renee Good. I mean, a murderer. I mean, someone who tried. Well, she wasn't a murderer, but someone who tried to literally annihilate an ICE agent. Come on, you give $1.5 million to that? No, you need $1.5 million to our friend Jonah Eisenberg, Seth Eisenberg from the Conservative Corner, who served our nation, who served in the Navy, who almost lost his foot twice. He's recovering. He works 2 jobs now. He's taking care of his son. He's taking care of other people in his household. He's got bills to pay, and we need to help him as much as possible. So please, guys, go to GoFundMe.com/Jonah/Eisenberg/health/crisis and donate to him today. $100 makes a big difference. And of course, don't forget, every Sunday night from 7 to 8:30 p.m. is the Conservative Corner with Seth Eisenberg. You can follow him on Facebook at the Conservative Corner and at Conservative Seth on X. Also, don't forget, tomorrow night is The Pulse, which I will be hosting with Damon Galdo, Seth Eisenberg, Elena Barbara, and we will have 2 special guests. We don't know who those guests will be, but it's always a mystery. Sometimes we get them at the last minute, but we will be talking about hot topics. The Pulse is one of our fastest growing shows nationwide. It is a phenomenal show from 8 to 9 p.m. every Wednesday night. So don't forget to check us out tomorrow night from 8 to 9 p.m. on The Pulse. And don't forget the Jersey Shore with our friend Damon Galdo every Monday night from 8 to 9 p.m. and every Friday night from 8 to 9 p.m. You can follow Damon Galdo on Facebook at Damon Galdo and at Damon Galdo on X. Damon Galdo is also running for Congress. So don't forget to follow Damon Galdo on his New Jersey congressional page, Damon Galdo for Congress. And those links will be sent out throughout the night as well as tomorrow night. And please, guys, don't forget to follow the America's Pulse Network on Facebook, YouTube, X, True Social, TikTok, Instagram, Parler. We're everywhere. We are absolutely everywhere. Our show is growing every single week, and it's because of you guys. So thank you, guys. Thank you for my followers. Thank you to everyone who watched tonight. And don't forget to follow me, Alexandra Levine, on Facebook, at Alexandra Levi20 on X, at A.R.L. Levine 85 on Instagram, Parler, TikTok, Truth Social, Instagram. And that's about it. I'm very feasible. I'm everywhere. I will be doing some performances coming up February 2nd. I have an all-women's singing event in Ohio at the Chabad of Waxman. Also coming up, even at the end of this month, I'll be doing a lot of singing events in Maryland and Ohio. A lot of events coming up in Florida, Kennedy Center events coming up next year. I'll be putting a lot of musical events together. Thank you to President Trump. Because of him, my opera career is coming back. And I will be singing all over this great nation. And I will be giving my voice to you, to the people. So please follow me on Alexandra Levine to know the latest concerts that I will be performing in and my latest speeches. February 2nd, not only will I be speaking, not only will I be singing Jewish songs because it's our holiday Tu B'Shvat, but I will be doing a 10-minute motivational speech about Tu B'Shvat, about the roots of Judaism and about the roots of my life. So if you are a woman and you're in Ohio, please reach out to me. I'm near the Beechwood area. And it will be a phenomenal, phenomenal event. And we hope that all you women can join. And there will be other events coming up in the future. Like I said, I'll be doing a lot of performances at the end of January and February and March and April and May and many, many more. So my calendar is filling up with musical events. So again, thank you to President Trump for that. Thank you to you guys for giving me a voice again. And of course, thank you for watching me tonight. And the reason you listen and the reason you watch is you are no idiot.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, Elena, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
Thank you for watching this episode of Alexandra Levine Live. So please click subscribe and then share on your favorite social medias. This way you will get notified of each upcoming episode. We look forward to hearing from you on upcoming episodes.